Hello. I hope that you have found what makes you most comfortable and warm. I have my nice cup of coffee here, and I have a quote to share with you today. This is from Pema Chodron's book, Living Beautifully. And part of this quote is, "Be fully present and feel your heart." So hopefully that is inspiring to you as it is to me today, because I like to practice being fully present as much as I can. So resonate with that and see how it makes you feel a little bit. I'm going to move on to the journey journal now. So we could do this together. So bring out your pen and your paper or your journal. I'm actually going to write the answers here in my journey journal. At the top of the journey journal, keep your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground. That's so important, because in yoga it's important to ground ourselves and become fully present in the here and now, and to also not limit yourself. So keep your eyes on the stars. So I love that quote. So the date, write the date at the top here. And today's quote, you can write that down as well, if you'd like. Stay present. Follow your heart. And moving on to 3 things that I'm grateful for. I am grateful for silence. That is true. Especially around the holidays. If you've ever been to a mall or Christmas shopping, you finally get home and you're like, oh, it can be quite tiring. So you enjoy those little bouts of silence. I'm grateful for the silence because it restores me. You can get as detailed into these as you'd like. You can come up with 100 reasons. Feel the gratitude also. You know, one of the things that I did and what I taught a student to do when they couldn't really get behind the idea of gratitude was, I said, what would it feel like if you didn't have that, you know, one thing that you're trying to be grateful for, trying to access that feeling? And they said, wow, that's an amazing way to look at it, because if you shift it around a little bit, you're like, well, what if I didn't have this certain person in my life? Or what if I didn't have this roof over my head? You know, what if you didn't have it? And it kind of makes you feel that gratitude for it. So second, another thing I'm grateful for, I'm really on peace and quiet lately. I think it's because of the holidays. But you know, if you come up with one before me, feel free to write it down. I'll choose a simple thing. I'm grateful for my pillow and this super warm blanket that I have on my bed. And I'm grateful for those things because it's been really cold outside lately. And it's one of those blankets that makes you feel like you're in a puffy cloud. So I'm grateful for that. I sleep better. And lastly, one more thing I'm grateful for. This might be kind of silly, but I'm grateful that I've been able to order a few Christmas gifts online this season, because having things delivered is much easier than having to go to a bunch of stores looking for something and you don't know where to find it. So I will say delivery, having items delivered, I am grateful for that, especially this time of year. But anytime, really. You can get so many things online that you can't find in other places. So, and my intentions for the day, these are going to be your very personal and private intentions. But I want to share mine with you so that you can have an idea of how to begin to create this practice for yourself. So my intentions for the day are to worry less. I intend to worry less. You notice we worry for no reason sometimes, right? And worry is just bringing into your imagination things that you maybe that aren't even real. So worry less. And my intentions today, you can come up with one. You don't have to have a lot. Maybe to smile. I'll smile as much as I can. Smiling is a great thing for us. And any other intentions you want to write down. Laundry. I need to fold laundry. So that's going to be an intention as well. And take a few moments. I'm going to take a few moments here. So make yourself comfortable wherever your comfortable space is, and take a few moments to journal any feeling. You can just say, I'm journaling. You don't have to be detailed. You'll see yourself evolve as you progress. So take a few minutes here and just write anything, everything, anything you want to let out. It could be frustration, it could be love, it could be anger, it could be fears or worries or anything. Just let it out on paper. It could be even more things that you're grateful for. This is your practice. I feel like is always a really great way to start a sentence. So one thing that I wrote is I feel like I'm progressing. So as you guys are doing this practice and growing, I am too, which is an amazing thing because we're growing together. So despite the challenges that I've had creating this course, from technology to writing to creating a platform to everything that I've challenged myself with, I've grown so much and I feel like I've progressed. So that is a really positive thing that I'm writing down. Yesterday, I wrote down a lot of the frustrations that I had. So I'm not really super focused on those anymore. And I'm actually able to look back and see why I was able to get through that, because I have a better idea as to why they happened. So, and that was through the practice of just observing and processing and clarifying within myself. So that's something that I wrote down. We're going to take about 2 more minutes just for you to finish up whatever you'd like to write in your journal before we move on. And a great thing that I've written down too is some questions that I have for the universe. That's always a good thing to write down. Questions. You can look back and see that they get answered eventually. So now we move into personal practice. So making sure that you have a nice, safe, comfortable environment to practice in. I am going to listen to my body, which I encourage you to do as well, and just move through any motions that feel good to you. So challenge yourself if you'd like to, be super gentle. Whatever is on your radar, let's just move into it. So first I'm going to place my blanket under my knees. You've learned so many poses by now. It's good to practice any of them, really. So my body is wanting to stretch some cat-cow motions here. And we're going to start today with just about 10 minutes moving about, whatever feels good. And every day will be different too, so maybe you want to challenge yourself a little bit. You might need to warm up a little bit more. It's your individual body though, so you're the only one who can know what your needs are, which is why I always encourage reflecting inwards and finding out what your body needs. And for instance, here you may want to go into devotional pose and just rest. Maybe put a block under your heart center. Or maybe you want to curl your toes under. Stretch out the back of your legs. Continue to breathe. So whatever sounds good to you. Bending the knees. Coming back down onto the knees anytime. And resting, relaxing, listening to the body. It's a wonderful organism. Breathe. It's very important. And as you continue throughout your practice, you will remember to breathe eventually. So if that's something that is challenging for you, it'll come. Focus on the movements. Add the breath in. And then they will join together just like a union. I like to remember that every time I breathe, when I inhale, I'm receiving a breath, and when I exhale, I'm using the breath as a vehicle to release tension in the body. So it leaves through the breath. It helps me remember to breathe. just continue on here. Gentle movements. Spinal flexion is really important, curving the spine. We can curve the spine up easily by sitting at a desk, right, and reaching. But how often do we do this opposite counter pose? Just pulling the belly button down and lifting the heart center. Not very often in everyday movements, right? That's why yoga is so wonderful, because we can balance ourselves with these counter poses. I'll give you one more example. You can do whatever you'd like, but in Anjaneyasana, this low lunge, we lift our hands up and reach. Exhale, relax the shoulders. How often do we reach up, except for maybe changing a light bulb, or maybe reaching for a bowl? Relax as you exhale. If you're moving with me, think, how often do we create this length in the spine? The opposite of gravity, right? How often do we reach up like this? Relax the back. One more if you're moving along with me. If not, just continue to do your thing. I'm moving on to the other side now. But really though, how often do we reach? So that's one of the amazing things that yoga does. So we get to reach and lengthen the spine and work that opposite movement. If you imagine a wire in your hand, breathe. Imagine a wire, and you're bending this wire in the same motion over and over and over again. Eventually it just snaps, right? But if we bring the counter movement in, then the body has a chance to get strong in the opposite way, so that the entire body stays strong and balanced. And that's what reaching really does for the body. My left side is a little bit more weak than my right side, and that's a little bit more tighter too, so I struggle a little bit on that side. And you might have the same thing. You might have one side that's a little different, but we practice to bring in balance. Continue to do what's feeling good for you here. It might just be devotional pose this entire time. I have sat in classes just like this. With my elbows bent and my head between my hands. Reflecting, being present, breathing. It's an amazing time we give to ourselves here. And your practice really is whatever you feel like doing. And incorporating whatever it is that you're learning as you go. We'll do a few more spinal movements, stretching the side bodies just by wiggling a little bit. It doesn't take much. This is kind of like a dynamic movement here. Dynamic meaning not fixed, not static. We're not holding tension, we're just moving. Moving the spine, whatever feels good. If it feels good, that's what your body wants right now. And I'm going to cross my knees. We could move into a meditation. Make sure you're warm and comfortable. I'm going to bring my sweater. So you can sit on your blanket, of course, if you'd like to add some height to the pelvis, or on a block, or even meditation pillows. I've got a couple of those that I've tried throughout the past. Whatever really is most comfortable for you, that's what you want to practice. Take a nice little coffee or water break, or tea. I love tea. I love coffee. I can't have a lot of caffeine though, so I've been sipping on a lot of decaf in this cold weather. All right, so hopefully you are comfortable and rested and seated and relaxed. So what we're going to do today is a little bit of a grounding meditation so that we can feel more grounded in the present. So we're going to bring some grounding earth energy into our bodies and pay attention to any sensations that you feel. Really allow it to come in to your experience. If you don't feel anything at all, that's okay. Sometimes it takes time. So just sit here and do your best. And we will begin with a chime and end with a chime. So generally what I do is I will ring the bells and start the meditation. And then at the end of the meditation, I will ring the bell when we have about 2 minutes left. So you can gently bring yourself back into the present moment or back into your physical space. I do recommend that as you hear the bell, follow the sound of the bell until you can't hear it anymore. So as you notice, it just kind of rings, just continues. All right, now, so this will be about a 5-minute meditation, and let's get started. So find your comfortable space and focus on your breath. Gently close your eyes. Long, slow inhales and long, slow exhales. Do steady breathing rhythm. And I will begin the meditation. Continue to follow in on your breath, tuning into your breathing. And tune your awareness into your sit bones or to whatever part of your body is resting on the floor. Your hips, your thighs. And imagine roots coming down through the sit bones, straight down into the earth. So going through the building you're in, straight down through the ground, down through the dirt, surpassing any roots of trees, going around rocks, and going deep, deep, deep down into the earth. Just continue to let these roots grow down deep, all the way to the earth's core. Just allow your imagination to take you there. As you continue to breathe, just continue to imagine these roots. And as you're rooting down into the ground, feel the heat surrounding the feet. As you bring warmth to the low part of the body. And these roots coming off your feet and your hips, straight down to the ground. Make sure your hands are resting comfortably. Now, after your roots have reached all the way to the earth's core, imagine the straws that come up into the root, straws pulling up earth energy back into your body. Just pull this energy up. Just as a root absorbs water and nutrients from the soil, we're pulling up this nutrient-rich earth energy into our body. Continue to focus on your breath and relax your jaw and your shoulders. Relax the muscles of the face and continue to allow this earth energy to come into your physical being, bringing balance. Continue to tune in with your own breathing and your very own practice. Relax the face. Just continue to relax. As you count a few more breaths, pulling up the earth energy. And gently open your eyes. Relax. Great job on your very first personal practice. I hope you've learned so much. I do recommend that you take out your journal and write down anything that you've learned, anything that you enjoy. How do you feel after experiencing this first personal practice? It's very important for you to remember the things that your body likes so that you can do more of them. So I also recommend reflecting on your intentions, just to make sure that you've got a clear intention for your day. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste.